For our field trip assignment, we planned a trip to Camp Kawartha Outdoor Education Center. We planned a grade 7 trip, and we're taking 2 classes on a 3-day overnight trip. The programs we selected at the Outdoor Education Center include Biodiversity, Wetland Wonders, and Web of Life, but they have many other interpretive programs. There will also be nightly campfires, a night hike, and the survival game.
So with regards to the relationship to the curriculum, this provides grade 7 students with an opportunity to gain a deeper understanding of the science unit of interactions in the environment by being in a setting that provides hands-on experience with this specific topic. Students will also be able to explain how resources found in nature can be used in a variety of ways. And lastly, concepts of adaptation, endangered and invasive species, and wetland ecosystems will be explored through camp workshops.
So for our curriculum connections, again, we connected to the interactions in the environment section of the grade 7 science curriculum. Next. Prior to the trip, we decided to brainstorm some ideas of meeting this content or learning this content. So we focused on 5 major components, including components and levels of ecosystems, needs and interactions of living things, human interaction and impact on the environment, recycling matter, and sustainable practices. So we chose the 3 programs, again, that connected most with these curriculum expectations. And post-trip, we decided a self-assessment of applying the knowledge from the camp programs would be beneficial to learning, along with a media presentation that connected classroom content to the experiential learning of our students.
Okay, so lots of forms, starting with principal approval of trip and curricular connections. That's needed for any field trip. Permission forms for parents with letters to parents about the trip and an itinerary. For any overnight trip, OFIA requires student medical records, which we'll keep on file along with administrative instructions for those drugs that students may be taking. There's an outdoor education contract that's provided by the camp that has a code of conduct for students that are their rules. There's a packing list, which is another OFIA requirement for outdoor education activities, so what to bring for clothes. And there's a volunteer agreement form for parent volunteers who also require a criminal record check.
So for cost, supervisions, and qualifications, we calculated $190 per student, which included transportation, lodging, food, and all the programs. We decided a 6-to-1 student-adult ratio would suffice, so we have 3 teachers and 3 parent volunteers that will be joining on the trip. And it was important to note that the parent volunteers required a police reference check that was no older than 3 months from the trip date.
So regarding the OFIA board and safety guidelines, the trip requires principal approval, parent permission, and contact information must be on file prior to leaving for the trip. Board protocol will be followed during the extreme weather and emergency situations, and a list of student names and travel vehicles, an itinerary, and contact information will be provided to the office prior to departing for the trip. And regarding accommodations, Camp Kawartha Education Center is wheelchair accessible, which is considered for all programs. It also provides 1 instructor for every 6 students, like we spoke about before, which optimizes the ratio for student supervision purposes, which makes it 3-to-1. And to minimize behavioral disruptions, rules and expectations and consequences will be established prior to and revisited throughout the trip.
There are first aid supplies located on site, and instructors have first aid training, CPR, and other skills, as will the teachers who are going on the trip. There's fire and medical emergency services are available within a 10-minute drive from the camp. Rules, safety considerations, and safety procedures will be explained to students before the trip, and students will be briefed on outdoor hazards such as poison ivy and black-legged ticks and sunburns and more things like that. Thanks for listening.